Hello, I am Leah Leach from the Gals Guide Library, and this year for Fairyville we are working on something special, and once again we are doing a community engagement project. In other words, we need your help with a really cool fairy house. So today I'm going to show you what our fairy house looks like and how to make a little shrine to go along in it. So this is our fairy house this year. This is our ofrenda. It's very Day of the Dead inspired. We know it's going to be April, but you know what? We're going to keep this in the library year round. So come October, it'll be fantastic. But inside we are making these little tiny shrines of women of history. They can be famous women, they can be friends, they can be family members, but that is what we are making for our fairy house. So I'm going to show you how to make one at home. We have kits that you can pick up and make one at home, or you can even look around the house and see what supplies you have to make one of these yourself, just in case you're seeing this video after Fairyville. All right, ready to get started? Here we go. So we make these out of Matchbox holders. So with our little Matchboxes, you get this in your kit, as well as very colorful pieces of paper. This is going to cover over your Matchbox. This is going to be your backing paper and your little archway. I'm gonna actually grab one of these real quick. Dun, 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 dun. To give you an example of the finished of what we're going for. So the first thing we do is we grab this glorious paper. We have found that if you hole punch it first, which if you pick up a kit from us, it is already hole punched, that you can then easier cut out the little archway. So this is the archway where your photo is going to be. Dun, dun, dun. So cut this around town. And it doesn't have to be perfect. That's what's lovely about these. So cut them out. Circles are sometimes hard to cut out. So there you go. You've got your little archway. So now what you're going to do is you're going to glue this around your Matchbox. Now, there are two ways you can glue it around. You can use your wonderful trusty glue stick, and I would start on one of the edges. Stay glue, there we go. And get that on there. And because not all glue sticks are made totally equally, some of them are really strong holding. Some of them like to pop right off. Also in our kits, we have given you, I'm gonna take the little box out, paper clips. So you can kind of hold it down as you fold it around the front and glue it down some more. Just give it some glue on the side. Bum, 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 and then fold it around. I'm gonna come back and glue it. I'm kind of creasing the edges, both sides there. And putting some more glue on the edge. And I'm gonna put another paper clip on it to just kind of let the glue do its glorious thing. Might need some pressure put on it, some extra zhuzh, if you will. If it doesn't reach all the way around, don't worry, it's the back of it. Nobody's going to see the back of it, so it's all good. That's just gonna determine, hey, that's where the back of my little shrine is. So, dun, 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 as we have that in there, we're let the paper clips kind of do their little holding business there. And then we're gonna cut out the same shape through the Matchbox. Again, this is where the hole punch really comes in handy to get you started, basically. So a little hole punch, and then snippy, snip, snip around. Do, do, do. And now if you can get this inside piece, the Matchbox piece, as solid to one shape, we can reuse it for something else. And I will show you that in a second. But see how that's still kind of one piece, even though it's got a hole in it? We can use that for later. If you see some of your Matchbox still around, do some little trimming around the edges. Obviously the Matchbox, because it's behind, that can be cut wider than the actual piece of paper that you have as well. So yes, just making this all pretty, cutting around the edges. All right, so there we've got that. Now we're gonna add our little archway to the top of it. And how we're gonna do that is we're gonna glue it to the inside, just a little piece of glue, again, glue stick. Oh, I also did forget, if you are having trouble getting this to kind of stick down and you have some crafter's tape, this stuff works really, really good. It's faster and it's a little stronger for holding the papers. A glue stick will work nicely, especially using the little paperclip method, but the little crafter's tape glues also work very well as well. So I glued that little archway in there. I'm gonna see, I think our paper clips are holding it. Yeah, look at that. Take our paper clips off. The glue has done its glorious job. Yay. If I can remember how a paper clip works. Ha-ha! There we go. Then you also have a contrasting piece of paper inside your kit, and that just rests inside your Matchbox. Oh, hold on, I need a little bit of a trim. You might need a tiny bit of a trim. And let's also let's glue it down. How about that? So glue it down. Who needs a trim on the bottom too? There we go. This gives you glorious contrasty background paper, okay? Then the next thing is this little Matchbox that I told you, if you cut it out in one piece, we've got another use for it. This will actually give you a little bump out 3D effect. So I'm going to show you how to make a little 3D effect for your person of honor. So if you kind of fold this in thirds on itself, fold, fold, give it some glue. Gonna give it glue there to kind of hold itself together. Okay, and always when you do this, it'll kind of end up being a glorious piece of a flat thing. If you take a pencil, pen, or even your scissors, you want to make it into a little bit of a tube. The tube is what's going to give it its dimension. You're going to glue one side of it to the backing and then one side of it to your image. And it'll give you a wonderful little 3D effect. Speaking of image, so you can print out to 1-inch size your gal of history that you want to use, or friend or family member. I'm going to use Mom's Mabley today. Mom's Mabley is one of my favorite comedians. Most likely she is the first ever stand-up comedian. When comedians were doing routines or vaudeville or stick or one-liners, Mom's was actually doing conversation and discussion and talk about life and kind of that what we think of stand-up comedy today. That's what Mom's was doing back in the 40s. So I'm gonna put our little thing on the backing of my picture of Mom's. Oh, I forgot. Hold on, let me cut her out too. I was gonna cut her out from the background because it gives a nice little effect. Plus we've got that really cool purple background, right? So let's showcase that. I'm just gonna cut around you, Moms. There we go. And then I glue down Mom's. Let's see if she's gonna stay there. Oh, she is. Thank you, Moms. And slide that inside. Oh, she fell down. Hold on. Let's get her. I'm actually gonna use some of this crafting tape just because it's much, much stronger. There we go, getting that nice 3D effect, and then slide back in. So then you have your wonderful woman of history inside your little shrine, and you can decorate it any way that you choose. Here at the library, if you want to come and decorate, we have glorious jewels, and we have beads, and we even have flowers, but anything is possible. Tons of Sharpie markers, lots of different ways to decorate these. One of my favorite things is to add little corners to them to kind of give it like they're almost glowing, if you will, and adding some jewels on as well. So I'm going to add a few jewels on here so you can see, especially if you add them to the archway. It really gives it that glorious shrine aspect to highlight your glorious soul sister, if you will. So our fairy house this year is called Soul Sisters, and all of these little houses, we have room for about 40 of them. So 40 different gals can be in their shrines showcase, and it'll be on the Nickel Plate Arts Fairyville Trail. And it'll be super, super cute. But yes, again, if you are watching this video after Fairyville, this is still a super fun little activity that you can do. Also, especially around Dios de los Muertes as well. So there is a little shrine. I'm even gonna add one more thing. I love doing this to the archway. And I add little boop, 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 boop to the archway. There you go. And how we've been doing them is we've been putting their names at the top. So I'm gonna put Moms and Mabley. There we go. So I've got Moms Mabley on the front. And then on the side, we've been putting their occupation. So, comedian. Although that is looking like a kindergartner just wrote that, isn't it? Hold on a second. Let's try it on this side. Let's see. There we go. Comedian. Cute. So you can come make these at the Gals Guide Library. We are inside the Nickel Plate Art Studio. You can also pick up a kit so you can make one of these at home, or if you already have these supplies, you can make them at home as well. So I hope you had fun and learned something new about making glorious little shrines, and we hope to see you on the Fairyville Trail. Thanks.